Segue into it too, talking about one of the hottest players right now in the postseason, Bryce Harper.
Yes, he's been so good, so good.
If the Phillies have any chance of winning this, Harper's going to be a big piece.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? 450 Dead Center here. Chris here with Daniel.
Oh,
yeah, and we're getting very, very close to the World Series as it is on Friday, and we're recording this on a Tuesday, so it's almost World Series time.
I still can't believe, season's over.
I can't believe the Phillies are in the World Series.
And Phillies, man. I mean, Phillies versus Astros. If you asked me at the start of the season if I thought it was going to be that, no chance.
Oh, no, none at all. Like, absolutely. Who would have thought it would have been the Phillies and the Astros? Like, yeah, probably the Astros, I'm going to be honest. But I didn't even have the Phillies as a postseason team. And look, they're in the World Series.
I mean, I had them getting bounced first round by the Cardinals, and
Me too.
yeah.
Me too. They were the team that entered this postseason that I had the least amount of trust in. And, well, they certainly proved me wrong.
I mean, it just shows, though, that, like the beauty of playoffs, man. Like, you just got to get hot at the right time. You just got to get in and get hot.
You do, and that's the same thing for every single playoffs we've ever watched. Like what was it? The Nationals in 2019, they just got hot at the right time. The Braves last year, they got hot at the right time. All those years the Giants won the World Series, they got hot at the right time.
Kansas City, when Kansas City won.
Oh yeah, Kansas City. I mean, Houston, I guess. I mean, they kind of cheated, so I don't know. But either way, yeah, it doesn't count.
But I mean, so we're gonna break it down really quick. So Astros versus Phillies. It's best of 7. Who has home field? Is it Houston?
Definitely gonna be Houston. It's
Houston, right? It's the higher seed. It's not the AL.
No.
Playoff thing anymore. That's done.
Either way, it would be the American League because we always win the All-Star game.
So. Exactly. But yeah, it's Houston got home field. Have they announced the pitching matchups yet for Game 1 or?
I do not believe so, but I would assume it's probably going to be like Verlander versus Aaron Nola, and then probably be like Zach Wheeler and Framber Valdez or something like that.
Yes, I would assume so. As I try to plug my computer in because it's about to die after being from school all day. So Chris, talk about something interesting.
Okay, interesting facts. You guys hear that Aaron Judge is, I mean, in my opinion, probably not signing with the Yankees, but today, or this was actually yesterday, the Dodgers said that they would move Mookie Betts to the infield if they signed Aaron Judge. That is something very crazy. But we're not here to talk about the Dodgers because, they got bounced by the Padres, who got bounced in 5 games by the Phillies. And I'm very happy that Bryce Harper's in the World Series. It's probably one of the greatest things that you really want to see as a baseball fan. One, obviously, Mike Trout winning a World Series or just making the playoffs. Let's be honest, that doesn't really happen that often. 2, Bryce Harper winning a World Series. He could have done it with Washington when, he was with Washington, but then he left Washington and went to the Phillies, and then the year after, Washington won the World Series. It just happens that way. Unlucky for him, but good to see him get his first taste of World Series baseball. He did get bounced quite a few times in the first round with the Nationals, so good to see that he's actually in the World Series. And then,
it was a perfect time, by the way.
Yeah, it was perfect.
You're good. And
Sweet.
Perfect segue into it too, talking about one of the hottest players right now in the postseason, Bryce Harper.
Yes, he's been so good, so good.
If the Phillies have any chance of winning this, Harper's going to be a big piece.
Yes, I mean, I gotta say, same with Kyle Schwarber as well. Like, who would have thought that this guy's hitting like 46 home runs from the leadoff spot?
Playoff Schwarber, baby. That guy.
Was
the whole
he good?
season he hits like 200, 220, right?
Yep.
With some bombs. And then playoffs, guy just turns into freaking modern day Barry Bonds.
Yeah, it's
weird. He's doing it now. He did it with the Cubs when they won after coming back from a broken foot or something.
Yeah, and did you see that home run he hit against the Padres? That was like 490 feet or something like that. It was crazy.
That guy hits shots, and I don't know what it is. There's just certain guys that play in the playoffs. I mean, the most famous one, I think, is David Freese.
David Freese, legend.
Right?
George Springer. Apparently, what's that guy's name from the Rays? Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
Randy, obviously Mr. October.
Schwarber's like one of those guys. He just performs in the playoffs. And, I mean, I don't know what it is, but that guy that guy along with Harper and even JT Realmuto is having a pretty good playoffs.
He really, the
Um,
whole team is hitting. Like even
yeah,
Bryson Stott is hitting right now. I can't believe it.
Bryson Scott, what a name.
You,
And on the flip side for the Astros, they got their playoff MVP monster in Yordan Alvarez, who is just absolutely torching the ball this playoffs.
yeah, and don't even forget about the guy who carried them in that Yankee series, the rookie who replaced Carlos Correa, Jeremy Pena. He's been so good.
And like, yeah, the hitting's been good for these teams, but the pitching, I mean,
I
the Astros are
no idea.
Astros. I mean, Valdez has been insane. Verlander, yeah, he's got roughed up a little bit, but he's still Verlander.
Javier has
And
been
like,
elite.
yeah, Javier, Lance McCullers Jr. is having like above average one.
You know,
The
like
pen's been pretty good.
the
Like,
Astros number 4 or 5 can be an ace on like competitive baseball teams. That's just how good the Astros are.
think of it this way: Verlander is pitching subpar in the playoffs
Exactly.
compared to what he's normally done, and it's better than 90% of if 90% of pitchers would prefer Verlander subpar compared to their best.
And he's still so good. And
And then
then
on the flip side, the Phillies,
mhm,
Aaron Nola's been
amazing.
really, really good, except for
Amazing.
that one
Like
Padres game, right?
whatever.
They're
Zach
using Noah
Wheeler.
Syndergaard out of the pen, who's just been gross.
Zach Wheeler has been so good too.
Zach Wheeler looks like the Mets. Zach, like
Who was it?
this is gonna
Ranger
be,
Suarez? Wasn't he really
yeah.
good as well? Like that
And
makes
their bullpen are getting saves.
I don't understand like the Phillies bullpen. They suck all year. Like statistically, what, bottom 5 out of the
Yeah,
rest of the MLB all season. And in the postseason they're like win. I don't get it. Like
Chris. Brad Hand is pitching good.
really? I thought he got roughed up one of the games.
Oh
And
yeah, but that's when it was the same game that Nola got roughed up, but still,
you know
like
what's funny though? He still got the win because the Phillies offense brought him back in it.
Brad Hand is being decent.
Yeah.
Brad
Brad
Hand.
Hand. That Blue Jays legend, Brad Hand. But Daniel,
Yeah,
I think it's time we make some predictions for the series.
agree.
So before we do that, I just want to say, is Philly America's team right now? You know, the team that everybody's rooting for. Is that Philadelphia?
I
Besides
saw
Houston
a
fans.
map, and I'm sure you saw the same map all over like Instagram and that, and it was
Mhm.
basically the Phillies were in like red and the Astros were in orange on the map, and the whole map was red, including Canada, and then the Astros was like a little like in like a
What,
little tiny
Houston,
circle.
Texas? In
Yeah,
Houston, Texas, probably. Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
But the rest of
That's it.
Texas was red. So I
So,
mean, I like Phillies. I have bias for the Phillies because Roy Halladay's there. He pitched there,
mhm.
as well as the manager for the Phillies is Canadian.
Oh, I forgot about that. That brings them up
Uh,
more points for me.
exactly. So if I'm picking favorites in terms of like who I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Phillies are
Phillies.
the team that 100% I want to win.
Yes. Agreed. 100%. I am rooting for the Phillies. Do not want to see the Astros win again. But I do have to say, if the Phillies do win, their fan base is never going to let any other team hear the end of it.
I'm okay because at the end of the day, the manager is like Canadian, so that's
Yep.
fine with me. Do I think they're gonna win though? I mean, the
Well,
Astros are the Astros, and that's about what I'm gonna say. But I've been wrong this entire playoff, so screw it. Phillies are
yeah.
gonna win.
Did you think the Phillies were going to beat the Cardinals?
I didn't even think the Phillies would have made the playoffs. To be honest, I thought the
Yep.
Brewers were making it.
Same. Did you think the Phillies were going to beat the Astros? The Braves? And did
Oh,
you think they would have beat the Padres?
oh, like
No.
no. So they've proven me wrong this entire playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Screw it. You're gonna win the World Series. At this point, you have nothing left to prove to me that you have not. Sorry, you have nothing left. You haven't convinced me that you're gonna win. Like this team is playing so well, and it's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if like when you've watched the games, you can hear like Philadelphia.
They're nuts. Like when Bryce Harper hit that home run the other day to, basically put him in the World Series. He's like, "Did I just do that?" And stuff like that. Like they're having fun
And
with
the
it, which is
the
awesome.
crowd sounds like I feel like I'm at the game watching it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's that loud over the TV, so I can only imagine what it is like in at a Citizens Bank there.
Exactly. And
I,
plus they got that bell and everything. It's fantastic.
exactly. I
But
was gonna say that, but as much as I think the Phillies are gonna win here, the Astros aren't gonna go down without a fight.
no
I'm
way.
expecting
Well,
the series to be at minimum 6 games.
that brings me into my prediction actually. The Astros haven't lost a game yet in this postseason. So I guess they're looking for a complete sweep of the entire playoffs. Sweep division, ALCS, and then World Series. So that's
I didn't even think about that the
yeah.
Astros are undefeated right now. That
They
totally blew over my mind.
they've been so good, and I've been so wrong. Except for the Astros, all playoffs, like every single round, I predicted the wrong thing. I'm gonna be honest, like it's kind of embarrassing. So
Yeah.
I want to predict the wrong thing for this round. So I'm gonna say Astros in 4. Okay, just so the Phillies reverse sweep them, or not reverse sweep them and win the World Series. I'm rooting for the Phillies, but I'm gonna say Astros in 4.
I think this Astros team, as soon as they lose one game, they're gonna fall off a cliff.
Or they'll just be way better. I don't know. They're like, oh, that's what it's
I
like to
think
lose.
they either go undefeated or they lose. Like there's no winning in 5. Nah, they either win in 4 or they don't win at all.
Wow, that's bold. That's very bold, Daniel, because the Phillies have been really good for some reason. But, both teams have been off for a couple days now. Next time they play will be Friday, which I believe, is the 28th of, October. So
Yeah.
both teams will be coming in cold. It's not like one team went to Game 7 and one team swept. Houston 1-4, Padres 1-5, but they both moved on, I believe, on the same night. So, it's
Both teams will be well rested. And before we wrap this up, Chris,
yeah.
give me, and I'll give one back to the fans, one bold prediction in terms of something or that's going to happen. Could be someone throwing a complete game, someone hit a monster home run. Like, give me some sort of bold prediction for the series.
I think you're gonna love this. Bryce Harper will have probably one of the best playoff series, best of 7 series, that we've ever seen in a playoff round in baseball history, and the Phillies will still lose.
I mean, you had me there. You had me there with Harper.
I had you, yeah.
Been so good. I'm going to go on a little bit of a different route.
hmm
And I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. He is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Justin Verlander.
Ooh, hmm
I think he is going to get absolutely torched by the Phillies this year.
That would be very interesting.
I'm expecting him not even get out of the second inning. Like it's going to be
like a Kikuchi start.
yeah, like it's going to be bad. I don't know why. Just got a gut feeling. He hasn't been great all playoffs. I think the Phillies are going to torch him. He's a right-handed thrower. Phillies rake against righties.
So you think Bryce Harper will tee off against them and match our predictions together?
It could, but also as I say, this Verlander could just come out and throw a complete game no hitter. Like
I mean,
he's just that good.
If it was in the Rogers Center, maybe he's some no hitters there.
But let us know what you guys know down below. Give us your thoughts as well as who you think's gonna win, and we'll see you guys all next time.
Goodbye.